in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
Good morning, Unity of London. Don't you just love that? My soul is welcome here. Your soul is welcome here. So good morning to Unity of London who are following us on Zoom this morning, and anyone that might be watching the recording on YouTube later. Your soul is welcome here, and yes, you are in the right place. And we hope that today you will be getting the message loud and clear. So my name is Catherine Bro, and I'm grateful to be your leader this morning. I'd like you to share the vision statement with us. Unity's vision statement, pretty much worldwide, is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Now, the first time I heard that, I wondered, what does that really mean? A world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Well, isn't that just exactly what we are experiencing right now? A growing movement of spiritual awakening. So as you awaken and as I awaken, we go out into the world to share what that is for us, which ties in beautifully with our mission statement. Our mission is to transform lives. And we transform lives by inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world. We don't teach people to do it. We do it, and we inspire them to do what we do. How beautiful is that? This morning, we have no announcements, so that's a good announcement for everyone. We would like to go into prayer. So if you can just get comfortable wherever you are, and close your eyes and take a little bit of a deep breath. And just relax and just let what's already happened today fall away. And just let what needs to happen later today just fall away. And to be present right here, right now, in this sacred moment. Your soul is welcome here. How inviting and how inspiring is that? We are just so much more than physical beings and physical bodies. We live from our heart space, and we nurture our soul by inspiring everyone we meet to live within the unity principles and teachings that we hear every Sunday. And we turn within and we say, I love you. I am love. I am here to be inspired and to inspire. And let us hold that in our hearts as we hear our wonderful message this morning. And so we let it be, and so it is. Amen. We hold in prayer today Unity Spiritual Center of Kitchener, and we hold in prayer today Spiritual Center of Hamilton. As we know, we hold in spirit all churches, all religions, all faiths, as we know that there is only one God and one presence in the universe. And we are all walking each other home. And we say, thank you, thank you, thank you, sweet spirit. Amen. So now Grace will be sharing another of Unity's core values as she reads for us this morning from the Daily Word.
Good morning. Today's theme in the Daily Word is faith. With faith, nothing is impossible for me. With gratitude, I use my faith to trust in the good that is always present, even when it has not yet manifested. As I pray with faith, I discern the truth that always endures through even the most difficult circumstances. As I concentrate on harmony and love, all thoughts of lack, limitation, and discord simply dissolve. As I speak with faith, I use positive words to express my belief in myself and others as divine beings. As I act with faith, I access deep, lasting strength and fortitude that help me surmount any challenges. Inspired by my faith, I move forward with confidence. Nothing is impossible for me. And in Matthew 17, verse 20, we have the words, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. Our speaker today doesn't need a lot of introduction because we all know her and love her so well, but I will certainly give you something, perhaps a new tidbit about her as I read this introduction. So our speaker for today is an educator, writer, coach, and professional speaker. Since joining Unity of London in 2012, Pauline has been both a member and a president of the board, a greeter, member of social service committee, an active prayer chaplain, and a frequent presenter for our Sunday service. In her journey toward becoming a licensed Unity teacher, she is starting her next course, Discerning Your Purpose, this Wednesday. During the last 6 months, Pauline has, along with our 3 other prayer chaplains, shared leading our 6-day-a-week prayer meditation at 11 o'clock each morning, and all are welcome to attend us. Sharing her talk about the harmony of order, please help me welcome Pauline Duncan Thrasher.
Thank you very much, Grace. And what a delight to be able to share with you, our Unity members, anybody who may be listening. Today, this presentation is about divine order, developing our divine order. And you heard last week from Reverend Paul Hasselbeck about order. This will be a continuation of that, but also a reminder to all of us that order is a lot more than just keeping a neat desk or a neat house. This is order from the inside out. So this presentation will talk about how do we adjust to changing times. And we've certainly had to do a lot of that this year. How do we embrace our divinity? What a monumental thought that is, that we are divine. And embracing that divinity gives us so much power, gives us so much potential to go out there and transform lives and to transform our own lives. And how can we blend action and stillness? And I'll be referring a lot today to nature. Paula will be happy about that, I think, because in nature we see a lot of action and stillness. Life is all about change. For everything, there's a season, a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born. And as babies grow into tiny caregivers, they also grow into teenagers, and later on, generations of people, all caring and nurturing each other at various stages of their development. Think about your own life. Think about our lives when we were babies, then through the teenage years, then maybe young parents, or maybe we never became a physical parent, but maybe we parented other people. And whatever stage you are in right now is your time to develop. And I chose all these different photos of people who are older, not because we're all older, but because sometimes we forget that our years of experience, our ways of managing the order of our lives, adjusting to a different time, a different age, and power of order is a lot about adjusting. We'll hear more about that later. But it is adjusting to a new way of being. That lady in the bottom doing yoga in the park is stretching out physically, but I expect the people in the park in the top right are just relaxing in the stillness. And if we're lucky, we are around young people or are able to nurture young people. It's also a time to plant. And if you think of small plants, and I know we have some farmers, but we also have many gardeners, the plant, like you, started as a tiny potential, a seed of potential that needed light and water. We need to nourish ourselves as the plant needs nourishment. And in life, there is a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted. Thought of Larry and George when I did this picture. So whatever we are planting, and think of what you are planting. Are you planting seeds of love? And the love that we plant, the love that we share, has an order as that plant does, that love will develop and grow and transform lives. And at some point, What we planted will allow someone else to in turn plant. Reverend Linda Martellowitz, in her amazing book, Divine Audacity, talked about what a significant role adjustment plays. And she describes adjustment as our power of modifying thoughts, words, and actions to support our wholeness of being. Think of times when you have had to adjust your way of thinking. Perhaps you knew someone and they just rubbed you the wrong way. They irritated you. And maybe they did something loving, or maybe you knew they were facing a special challenge. And you took a step back and you thought, I need to adjust my thinking about that person. I have only seen one tiny aspect of them. I missed the whole picture. Or maybe at certain times of your life, you've had to adjust your actions to meet a new need, to meet a new way of being. Children at the beach, leaping up with joy and exhilaration, adjusting from being little toddlers to being big enough to go into the water. Young man in the center, adjusting to having only one leg, and yet his adjustment in other aspects of his being have given him the stamina, the strength, and the courage to be a star athlete. Sometimes we get challenges. They may be physical, emotional, or mental. And we have the capacity with order to adjust how we treat that new challenge. Could be becoming a graduate, becoming a person whose life matters in this world, who knows that there are other graduates. We have freedom of choice, and we get to choose whether we adjust or not. COVID has been a great stimuli for us adjusting. The orderly and harmonious cooperation with divine law leads to the orderly, harmonious unfoldment of your spiritual nature, in the same way that nature follows in its growth. And in that wonderful little book, Your God-Given Potential, we call it the Powers book. Mine is getting all worn out. It's a book by Reverend Winifred Wilkinson Houseman. And if we look at nature, we see that it unfolds in an orderly way. We have an opportunity to unfold by choosing how we will nurture our spiritual center. Think of the trees in all the different seasons. Spring, which some people love because it's burgeoning green, new growth. And fall, this time of vivid, fabulous colors. And we know that winter will come with its own special form of beauty. Change of seasons is a time when all nature seems to be caught up for a moment. In that space between what was and what will be. This in-between time is important, for it's a time of slowing down and preparing for the months ahead. I've always thought there was a special beauty of trees without leaves because you can see their shape. You can see their essence. And there's also a beauty when they begin to flower. Now we go through seasons just like nature. You may right now feel a little bit more like the picture on the left. You may think that your time of flowering has passed. I say it has not. If we are following the harmonious order of nature, flowering is still part of who you are. And I give credit to this next part to dear Eric Butterworth. And it was in his book, Discover the Power Within You, that I saw the quote attributed to Jesus. You are both human and divine. Just think about it. We all make mistakes. We all have times when we may lose our temper. I know I do. I may get frustrated. We also have times when we can call upon our divine nature. In times of upset, we can turn to the other side of our nature, the divine part. And Jesus said, there is that in you that can never be hurt, that is always poised and peaceful. And if you're thinking, no way, I'm not poised and peaceful, Pauline, how dare you say that to me? I say, oh yes, it's inside you. In your divinity, you are poised and peaceful. And in times of upset, our order of adjustment, our order of evolution allows us to call upon that. That within you knows your spiritual unity with God, and it knows that no one can take your good from you. I'd like you to read this out loud right now. You don't have to unmute. It would make a cacophony of sound. But just to read this, and in reading it, think about what it says to you. And instead of saying you, I'd like you to say me and my. There is that in me that can never be hurt, that is always poised and peaceful, that knows my spiritual unity with God and knows that no one can take my good from me. What a beautiful message of inner harmony, inner order. What is spiritual adjustment all about? Easy to say. How do we do it? How do we make that adjustment spiritually? And there are several practices, and some of them you might already be using. Meditating. You don't have to be a guru. You don't have to go live in an ashram. You don't have to go anywhere outside your own home. You can sit in a comfortable chair, relax your body, and do nothing. And that can be meditating. Or as Catherine talks about in her course, in her book that we study all the time, The Way of the Heart, we can choose to consider our divinity. Choose to consider and reflect on our divinity. Meditating is like going to a spa for your spirit. You don't have to pay any money. Meditating is something available to all of us, an activity that allows us to adjust spiritually. journaling. I know that some people who are listening and watching love to write. I think Paula likes to write. And some of the rest of you can just go out and get a little notebook. Write down your thoughts. Write down the moments when you are upset and you call upon your divine nature. Write down the times when you are restoring order by calling upon order. Releasing is a big one. Spiritual adjustment is releasing the friction, the tenseness, the stress, the worry, the anxiety, the doubt, the fear. Releasing it. Using our power of will to say, I release my worry right now in this moment. Is that powerful? And even if a part of your brain is saying, well, how can it go away just by me saying it? Well, we heard last week about mind, thought, and manifestation. What are you choosing to dwell on? And is what you are dwelling upon in your mind creating a happier life for you, a more fulfilled life, or a restricted, tight, compressed life? Release. We tense, we relax, we release. Part of spiritual adjustment. And speaking affirmations. Catherine gave us a few at the beginning as leader. I transform myself in positive ways. I am transforming positively right now. The affirmations are present. They're positive. And we say them often. We release the anger. I affirm the peace. Release the stress. I affirm my relaxation. Release the nervousness. I affirm confidence. Those two can go together in spiritual adjustment. And Eric Butterworth also talked about a tunnel. And he reminded us that we're not walking through a tunnel. We're not stuck in a tunnel. There is light at the beginning and the end of the tunnel. And I wanted at the beginning of this meditation to remind you about our connection with nature. This is a beautiful poem I found called Prayer in Winter. And some of you may be nervous about oncoming winter and cold. But this is a prayer that reminds us that there is a season for everything. In the season stilled for slumbering, roots lie deep bedded in the sheltering earth, and buds, warm wrapped, await the eager spring, having no doubt of sun and warmth and birth, content for now with silence and with sleep, counting the days not wasted, knowing well that though this stronghold may be dark and deep, soon spheres of green will burst their narrow shell. God, divine energy, divine oneness, sense of order, let my soul make use of quietness, taking a lesson from the patient, slow ways of the land, aware that close to my own divine energy, I too found a way to dream and glow. I invite you to relax into your chair, to absorb as you breathe in all the light. And there is always light on the other side of your bridge. There's light in the center of your bridge. There's light wherever you are, because you are divine order. And in the next few moments, and I'll still the music in a few seconds, there will be a time of absolute quiet for you. And in that quiet, I encourage you to remind yourself of your own divine order. I am divine order. I'll let you know when our time is up. And just as the sapling in winter uses its resilience to withstand the strong winds and the cold weather, may we use our inner strength, our order, our sense of harmony to be strong and resilient. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
Oh my. Oh, Pauline, thank you, thank you, thank you. Talk about inspiration. Talk about living your God-given potential that was planted in the beginning. And this is a little off of what I had intended to say, but we just witnessed a divine being demonstrating her deep desire to be an inspiration to others. As Pauline doesn't say, oh, why bother? It's too late in life. She says, I'm continuing to go for my licensed Unity teacher course, which takes years. She's almost completed that. She's a coach, she's a speaker, she's a trainer. But more than that, she is a divine being who shines her light and walks her talk every day. And I am so inspired. And I hope that all of you will share with Pauline at some time what an inspiration she has been and continues to be for you. When she talks about the power of adjusting, and by doing that, to open the door to joy that's missing from our lives. Wow, That is so inspiring. So Pauline, thank you, thank you, thank you for an amazing spiritual feeding this morning. Oh. And now we go into our closing song.
All is perfect, all is blessed. In your beauty and truth I find my rest. All is loving, all is peace. In your presence is hope and clarity. Grace of God flows, and I go where Spirit leads. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. All is certain, all complete. In your wholeness I find serenity. All is oneness, unity. In your presence I find all of me. Grace of God flows, and I go where Spirit leads. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. I'm open to receive. I am open to receive. I'm open to receive.
Now we would like to take a moment to thank everyone for your continued continued tithes, sorry about that, and gifts to your spiritual community. We continue to be prosperous, and that is how the flow of prosperity works. As we give, so shall we receive. If anyone is unfamiliar with Tithely and would like to make that a practice, please just go to our website. It's very easy to remember, unityoflondon.com. And there is a link that takes you directly to Tithely. We also welcome any checks received in the mail, so whatever you are most comfortable with. And now we move into the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me, and the presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well.